shower. Love, not hate. Love, not hate. Love, not hate.
To say Thursday night was eventful for the small town of Hays, Kansas would be an understatement. Demonstrators gathered outside the Fox Theater on Main Street to protest the private event titled Understanding the Threat, Strategic and Operational Training and Consulting on the Threat of the Global Islamic Movement. The presentation was given by former Kansas Representative Peggy Mast, who served as representative from 1997 to 2017. We were able to interview Mast, who, despite the controversy surrounding the event, claims to have no prejudices against anyone.
It wasn't a prejudice against any people. I found that I have no problem with, any sect. As a matter of fact, I just got an invitation to a young Pakistani female who was a student at Emporia State last year, and I befriended her. She took her out to my house. We made peanut butter cookies, and I took her for rides because she couldn't get a driver's license, and I love her.
But the protesters outside seemed to disagree. One protester, a Fort Hays State University student, described his views on the event inside the theater.
And I think that, the event that's taking place across the street from us right now is a little bit bigoted and, rooted in hate. And so I think that that's why we're here and show that we're not accepting of that in the community.
Though he has been a part of the Hays community for 13 years, Alexander explains that he is still not surprised that an event like this is occurring.
I would hate to say it, but I'm not surprised. In the geographical area that we are, these events tend to take place, and that kind of mindset is deep-rooted and, historically rooted.
The event was sponsored by the Ellis County Patriots, which is not an official group yet. However, event coordinator Ramona Herman explains where the idea came from and what she hopes becomes of it in the future.
Actually, there is no such thing. I called myself the Ellis County Patriots to put it on the flyer. When I first saw her, someone told me to go listen to this lady, so I did. And I was so excited about what she said because it's everything I believed in. And so I asked her what I should call myself, and she said the Ellis County Patriot. And so I really would like to get a group started.
Herman went on to explain why she brought Mast to Hays, Kansas.
Oh, because after I heard her, I wanted the people in Hays to hear her. Because I don't think they know what she knows, and not too many people do.
Another protester, Rachel Moravik, believes that people will attend this event because of fear in the current political climate in America.
I think because people are scared, especially right now. There's so much political turmoil, there's so much polarization in the nation right now, and I think people actually kind of want to be scared and they want to feel that fear, and this event does it. That's why they're here.
Excluded from the list of groups was the LGBTQ community, which Mast says was never included in the presentation.
I don't think that I mentioned LGBTQ at all tonight, and that's not something I've taken out of my presentation. To my knowledge, I never had it in. I think the only thing that I do say is that the 3 women who founded Black Lives Matter are all homosexual women. That's the only thing. I don't talk about their behaviors or anything. It just happens to be a fact. Okay. And Elisa Garza is married to another woman, and so a lot of times they're walking to promote homosexuality. That's their choice, but it's not something that I think that, I need to get involved in and try. I'm worried about the destruction of America, not, gay and lesbians marching in the streets. So.
Okay. The topics went beyond CARE, Black Lives Matter, and Antifa. Climate change, voter fraud, COVID-19 mask mandates, and critical race theory were also discussed by Mast in her presentation. There was really no sense of tension until Mast opened up the floor for questions.
The questions range from topics such as the Black Lives Matter movement and COVID-19 regulations and speculation. There were no questions asked about the Islamic community. One attendee describes getting her sign taken away when walking into the event.
Yes, when I walked in, there was a very little old lady, very sweet-looking old lady who came up to me and asked me what my sign said. And when I showed her, she took it from my hands, and I was like, oh, do you want that? And she was like, why, yes, I do. And then she walked away.
Moore then described the contents of her sign.
It was a quote from Representative Peggy Mast where she was defending a quote from Adolf Hitler, and it was just me making fun of that, basically.
When asked why there is opposition to the event, Mast stated that it was an attempt by the protesters to censor her and her supporters.
I don't know what's going to happen tonight. It may be a major deal, it may not. They don't like people like me giving a different message than they had. They don't like that, so they want to censor us, and they do it through intimidation and fear.
However, Aniston Weber, one of the organizers of the protest, believes the issue stems from ignorance from the other side.
I think that people that are unwilling to step outside of their, dare I say, conservative bubble, fail to see the diverse community that we have here, fail to see other perspectives, fail to see how great the people that they are actively being against are.
Attempts were made to interview non-protesters who attended the event, but to no avail. The venue has also received criticism for holding the event. The Fox Theater gave Tiger Media Network a written statement that reads, quote, "The Fox Theater is a venue available to anyone who would like to use it for many different functions. Although we have internal company guidelines and policies that allow us to turn down speakers or organizations, we have not turned down any group or speaker. The ownership of the Fox will not allow any speaker associated with a hate group or terrorist organization. Rental income is one of the largest and nearly only sources of income for our small business. We welcome people from all sides of the political spectrum and different ideologies to speak in our beautiful venue, so long as they are willing to pay the fees that help our business succeed. We hope that people will invest the time necessary to research the topics or speakers for accuracy. We are a private small business, and any speaker that presents on our stage does not necessarily represent the views or feelings of ownership and staff. While we are strong supporters of the First Amendment, the Fox Theater staff is only there to make the event comfortable for those in attendance and assist in sound, lighting, and video to those renting the building."
As far as modern demonstrations go, this one was relatively tame with only a few aggressive verbal exchanges. Hopefully this event does not further deepen the divide that we see in this country as well as this community, and hopefully a peaceful dialogue can be created. I'm Justin Sabata with Tiger Media Network.